Hello everyone, this is Sayyid Saad from Saad Tech. Guys, as you know, in previous section of topic 1, we have studied input processing and output in Python. So far we have covered 4 topics: designing a program, input processing and output, displaying output with the print function, and the last comments. So as I told you, we will study the remaining 3 topics, that is variable, reading input from the keyboard, performing calculations. So let's start from variable. These topics were remaining. So I assume you have studied and revised the total 4 topics from my this video. And today we will be starting from variables. So what is the concept behind the variables in Python and what variables do? So the concept is a variable is a name that represent a value stored in computer's memory, and here are few examples. We will go through it separately. So what are variables and what variables do? So basically variables are assigned with the statements, and they are called as statements, assignment statements. So here are, as we can see, we use assignment statement to create a variable and make it reference a piece of data. And like you can see, the age is equals to 25. So an assignment is a statement is written in the following general format: a variable age is our variable is equals to, that is equal to sign, and the 25 is the expressions. So you see we have assigned age with an expression that is equals to a number of 25. This equal sign is known as the assignment operator. In the general format, variable is the name of a variable and expression is a value or any piece of code that result in a value. After an assignment statement executes, the variable list on the left side of the assignment operator will reference the value given on the right side of the assignment operator. So let's do and demonstrate a variable. Here we have assigned a variable that is room with assignment operator is equals to when with a expression that is a number 503. So here I have written print I am staying in a room number and print room. So right here I have written the print with a following preceding the string value and following the print, and as I have assigned here a variable that is a room. So let's run this code and see what's happened. What does this print? So you see here is it has print I am staying in a room number with a string function print, and the next one is the variable following an expression that is 503. So we have assigned 503 a room number with a variable following with the assignment operator. So it has print I am staying in a room number in the next line, that is a 503. Let's move with another example, creating two variables, top speed and a distance. We have a variable name with top speed is equals to 160, and the second one is distance, that is 300, and both 160 and 300 are our expressions. Display the values referenced by the variable. So the top speed, we will print the string that is top speed, and the second one, the distance traveled, is the distance. So it will print our first variable with the top speed 160 and the second distance with 300. So let's go and check what does this print. You see when I run this query, though it print the top speed is 160 and the second expression that is a 300 preceding the distance traveled is 300. So these are sample variable names. Obviously every language have some legals and an illegal expression, and what does it execute? Several languages, Python and other languages, accept some legal variable name And if we input any other type of strings or variables, it doesn't execute. So Python has defined a legal and illegal sample variable name. Let's study and consider how Python accept the variables and what does it doesn't do. So number one, a units per day. You see units per day, the variable is written with alphabetical order with underscore and with assignment operator is equals to with a number. It will execute with no error. Similarly, days of week. This is complete alphabetical variables and basically it's a name. So this expression is a reference with assignment operator with days of week, and it will also execute and will print in a legal way. Right. So the other is a 3D graph. We have observed the variable is starting from a number digit, that is 3. Python will not execute this type of a variable because it includes a number, and D graph a variable with alphabets. So there are two combination of variables including a number. It I don't know what it will be. It will execute. Maybe it will take as a string, or it will take as an integer when there are some duplication or dual mode on variables. So it will throw an error, and that is not a legal way. Said that is illegal. So if we run this query, it will give an output. Yes, it said a syntax error and invalid syntax. Or right here, it shows an error which is a 3D graph. Here, like in the sample table, it has written illegal variable and cannot begin with the digits. So Python accepting this variable with the digits and will not execute. Let's remove 3, and if we run this query, what does it will print? So yes, it has executed and it will print a value if I assign some its name. So it has produced and given output 4.4. Similarly, June 1997, the variable starting with a legal way, that is an alphabet, and it is a complete string. The 1997 1997 is following preceding with the June, so it doesn't throw an error. It is a legal way and it will execute. So let's run. Yes, this is a legal way. Similarly, in the last there is written a mixture hash 3. Once again, Python will throw an error with a syntax error. I mean a name error where name mixture is not defined. So you see mixture and hash 3 would give a name error, that is name mixture is not defined. So you see here also it is a illegal name, and variable name may only be used letters, digits and underscore, not hashtag and 3. So once again it has thrown an error and it will not execute. Similarly, if we remove this mixture and if we run this query, so the Python will execute in a very good way. Displaying multiple items with the print function. You see here we have studied before the room number is printed with a print function separately, and the variable print with another print function or print. And here we have displayed the print command or print function in Python executing with a room variable, and we have separated by a comma. So if we execute, we see the Python has printed I'm staying in room number 503 within a space bar of comma, and within a single print function we have printed a string variable that is in single quotation and preceding a room number that is in 503, that is an expression. So the variable also printed in single print function following 503. I am staying in a room number. So here we have displayed a multiple items in print function to separate the item with comma. It is a very simple way we can print not only one, and we can also print 3 or 4 and multiple items in a print function in one function. And the next topic is variable reassignment. What does it do? This program basically demonstrates a variable reassignment, assign a value to dollar variable. Here you have seen in the first line the dollar assigned to 2.75, and the next print I have a dollars in my account. So I assume this will print I have $2.75 in my account. Reassign dollars so it reference a different value. You see here is a same variable dollars, and we have again dollars, and the expression is written 99.95, and the print function, similarly it is a multiple print function, and it is printing, but now I have dollar in my account. So if we run, what we will see, first it has produced and printed I have $2.75 in my account, but now I have 99.95 in my account. You see, first the dollar was assigned by 2.75, and later the variable was reassigned by 99.95. What happened actually, when we assign a value to a variable, the variable reference that value until we assign a different value. In this example, the statement creates a variable named dollar and assign it value to 2.75. Then the same statement assign a different value 99.95 to the dollars variable. The bottom part shows how this changed to dollar variable. The old value 2.75 is still in the computer memory, but it can no longer be used because it is referenced by a variable. When a value in memory is no longer referenced by a variable, in Python interpreter automatically removes it from memory through a process known as garbage collection. So there is some module or method in Python known as garbage collection. It garbages the previous value and reassign with a new value. So basically this is a method in Python. And obviously in every language, and similarly Python has a numeric data types and neutral. So Python uses data types to categorize values in memory. When integer is stored in memory, it classified as an integer, and when a real number is stored in memory, it classifies as a float. When Python interprets reads a numeric letter in a program code, it determines its data type according to the following rules. So what happened? A numeric letter that is written as a whole number with no decimal point is considered as an integer. The examples are 7, 124, and -9. A numeric literal that is written with a decimal point is considered a float. Examples are 1.5, 3.145, and 5.0. So you see, the numbers written in whole number are called integers, and numbers with decimals are known as float in Python. So the following statement causes the number 503 to be stored in memory as an integer, and we have studied in the last example. And the following statement causes number 2.75 to be stored in the memory as a float. The example we have studied here in dollars, right? So an experiment we can use in Python, there is a built-in function, type function, and interactive mode to determine the data type of the value. For example, look at the following session. If we want to know the type of 1, so it will give us integer, and if you want to know the type of 1.0, it gives a float. So you see, when the 1 was written with a whole value, the Python executed and determined the type is as an integer, and 1.0 as a float. Storing strings with the string data type. Obviously, Python also store in as a string function, and in addition to the integer and float data types, Python also has type name string named with str, which is used in storing strings in memory. The code below shows how strings can be assigned to a variable. First name, a variable is assigned by assignment operator with a dollar, and the last name drum. So display the value referenced by the variable. So if we print first name and separate by a space by a last name, we see it prints a dollar drum, and the Python and computer memory also store a string variable in its memory. Reading input from the keyboard, a very beautiful concept a very and useful function of input. What the concept behind in Python? Program commonly need to read input typed by the user on the keyboard. We will use Python functions to do this. So in this section, we will discuss a basic input operations. Um, Reading data that has been typed on the keyboard. When a program reads data from the keyboard, basically it's take input from the user. Usually it stored the data variable, so it can be used later by the program. So here we will take an input from the user from the keyboard, and we have assigned this by a variable with name assignment operator, and the function that is used is an input. An input operations take the input from the user, and the string is asking what is your name. So first we will run this command, and what is asked, what is your name? So we will give Sayed Sadali is my name. Okay, and we press enter. So the string was stored in the name variable as a Sayed Saad Ali, and it has taken an input from the user from the keyboard. And now if we print my name, print name, the name is a variable and the print is a function. A print name, it displays my name. Once again, we have taken first and last name from the user. We have written right here Donald Trump, and we will now take the name first and last. Hello, Sayed Saad Ali. It will print my name. So now we will run my first name Sayed Saad, enter your last name ALI, and it print hello Sayed Saad Ali. You see right here the print function is printing hello separated by a spacebar comma first name my Sayed Saad and the last name Ali. So it printed hello Sayed Saad Ali. Reading numbers with the input, obviously the as it is taking input as a string from the keyboard, it obviously take input from a function with input function, and we will see how does this take. Here the variable args is assigned with an input function, and this input function is referenced by an integer. So we are entering and we are giving the command of hours, and it says how many hours did you work. I work 40 hours total in a week, and if I do enter type hours, it will display the integer. If I run again, and if I write 40.05, so it's give an error because the function is integer and that is not float, so it will throw an error. So once again I have to write an integer type parts, it is given an integer. Similarly, we will enter the hourly pay rate in float rate. So we will give an input the pay rate 200.35 hourly pay rate, and if we execute, what happened to this not executing? So I stop once again, rerun this 200.35 and enter, and now we will want to know the type of pay rate. It gives a float because I have written in decimal 200.35. So there, that's how it works. It calls the input function to get a value entered at the keyboard. The value that is returned from the input function as a string is passed as an argument to the float function. The float function that is returned from the float function is assigned to the pay rate variable. After the statement executes, the pay rate variable is assigned the value entered from the keyboard converted to float. Similarly, we will run name, age, and income. Similarly, we will take a string and income with everything string, integer, float. So what is your name? My name is Sayed Sadali. I will pay enter. What is your age? Okay, 29. What is your income? So I will type income 100.57. So the income, it has printed my name with integer, I mean with a string, age in as integer, and income with a float. So print and my both name, age, and income. The type, it we want to know the type. So my class of name was string, the class of age was integer, and the class of income was a float. So you see there are three types of in data that Python has used, that is string, input, and third is float. So this is our last topic, performing calculations. Python has numerous operators that can be used to perform mathematical calculation. A programmer tool to perform calculations are math operators. Below table shows math operators that are provided by the Python language. Programmer use these operators shown to create math expressions. A math expression performs a calculation and gives a value. The following is an example, a simple math expression. So you see 14 minus 2, we will get 12, a simple math operation. And here are some Python math operators. What does it do? The plus sign is addition, that add two numbers, and subtraction, subtract one number from another, and asterisk, that is operated by multiplication, multiplies one number by another. The slash sign, division, divides one number by another and gives the result floating point number. And the double hash, double slash, integer division, divided one number by another and give results as an integer. So a single slash will divide a number and it will give you a floating point number. And an integer division, that is followed by a double slash, it will gives a number as a result as an integer with no decimal number, that is a whole basically. The percentage sign is as a remainder, divides one number by another and gives as a remainder. We will study how does it work. And double asterisk is basically a power, that is exponent raises a number to a power. So we can when we use this math expression to calculate a value, normally we want to save the value in memory, and we can also do it again in the program. We do this as assignment by a statement, and you see a example below, a simple math program. Assign a value to the salary variable, okay, that is 2500. Assign a value to the bonus variable, bonus 1200. Calculate the total pay by adding a salary and bonus, assign the results to pay. So we are just summing up the salary and bonus and displaying our pay total, right? So if we run this, we will get the sum of value of 3700, that is salary plus bonus. So your pay is 3700. So simply it has done a simple math operator followed by addition rule with a plus. Here once again this program gets an item original price and calculated sale price with a 20% discount, get the item original price. So we want to know the original price. So we have to enter a float value into the original price. So if we run, so we have written 10,000 and the sale price is 8,000. So you see what does this do? We have entered and given an input price of 10,000. It has taken as a float. If it has multiplied by 20% discount by asterisk, you can see a asterisk symbol right here. That is a multiplication operator, and it has multiplied by original price, that is 10,000. The value returned, obviously it was 2000, and that amount was deducted by original price, and then it has displayed a sale price of total 8,000 rupees. So this program has also done a simple discount. It has done discounted function by a multiplication line and multiplied by a percentage 20%. Then it has subtracted from the original price and displayed a discounted price. Similarly, we have some expressions, and in Python, and not only Python, the basic math rule follow the BODMAS rule, the bracket open, divide, multiply, and subtract. That is a rule in mathematics. So Python also follow this rule within Python language. And the value, if we do this, 2 4s are 8, and then we added 5, so it displayed a 13, right? So this follows same rule. you have to do some practice in expression, and it will give you a value like in same. And obviously, the good work in maths, what we do and what we have studied throughout in our career and education, uh, you have observed that expressions that are written quite in discipline and well disciplined manner, that is in brackets or parentheses, so it will give you our accuracy and more accurate results if they are assigned with a parenthesis and grouping the numbers. So it has given you these I've given you the examples of expression that are written in parentheses. You can do this practice later. So we have an average program, get the three test score, assign them to the test 1, test 2 and test 3 variables. So let's run this program, and we have to input the average number, float 80.3, the second score 81.5, and the third score 91.75, right? So it will do the average, and then the total of test 1, test 2 and test 3 will divide it by the 3 to determine the average of the total 3 scores, the total 3 tests. So the average score will be, if I enter it, it will give 84.51, the average of 3 test scores. So it is quite simple. You can assign these 3 test variables by taking an input and as a float number, and a quite simple program to calculate an average of the test. Here, the exponent function, the exponent operator, as I told you, the double asterisk that raised to power the number, it will give you the power of the number. So we have a length right here 2, and we will calculate the area, exponent 2 by raised to the power 2, this number 2 is by raised to power 3, and the exponent, the last one, is by a 10. So if we run and want to know the area, it has given the 2 raised to power 2, that is 4, length, that is 2 raised to power 3, it will give you 8, and length, that is 2 raised to power 10, it will give you area of 1024. So you see, the double asterisk operator work as an power operator that we usually do by keyboard and in Excel by I guess it is a cap and multiplying and giving the raised to power of a variable, when we have assigned a length, that is expression with 2. In the last, that is a remainder operator. So the Python, the percentage sign symbol is a remainder operator. This is also known as modulus operator. The remainder operator performs division, but instead of returning the quotient, it returns the remainder. The following statement assigns 2 to leftover. So if we divide 17 by 3, that is 3 fives are 15, and the remainder is 17. So the statement assigned to the leftover, because 17 divided by 3 is 5, the remainder is 2. The remainder operator is useful in certain situations. It is commonly used in calculation that convert times or distance, detect odd or even numbers, and perform other specialized operation. For example, in Bro program, we will get a number of second from the user, and it converts the number of seconds to hours, minutes and seconds. For example, it would convert 11730 seconds to 3 hours, 15 minutes and 13 seconds. So let's run this program, and it takes an input of 7 of seconds of 11,730. So you see here the time in hours, minutes, seconds, total 11,730 seconds, which is equals to 3 hours, 15 minutes and second and 1030 seconds. How does it calculate? You see here, we have given a total seconds with a float numeric data type, and we have entered a numbers in seconds, that is 11,730 seconds. The hours, the total seconds has a double slash, that is 3600. So total seconds have double slash. We want the double second. We have studied that the single division gives a floating point number, the double integer division is give as a result in an integer, so we want an integer. So we have used a double slash and gives an hours, that is total 3, and the minutes were total divided by 60, and we have taken a remainder from the minutes from 60, right? It has given minutes 50, and the number from seconds, the total were seconds were divided by the 60, and what we get in a minute, that is 30. So display the results. Here are the time in hours, minutes, and seconds. The print function, we have given the hours, the minutes, it has given the minutes, and the seconds have given the seconds. So you see the percentage sign has calculated for the minutes a remainder, and for the seconds as a remainder, and that is divided by the 60. The hours was just divided by the double slash by 3600, and minutes were divided by the 60. Converting math formulas to programming statements, Python as well as other programming languages require an operator for any mathematical operation. Below table shows some algebraic expression that perform multiplication and equivalent algebraic expression. Basically, these are given you, for example, how algebraic expression work in Python, and how programming expression in taken inputs in the language. And below you can also see algebraic and programming expressions, how we have written in parentheses within Python statements, how they are executed. So there is a program to calculate a future value. So we will take future value as an input, and the desired future value we have to take 10,000 years 5, and we want to present value, the annual interest rate we will take 0.375, and enter the money of years will grow. We have to write the number, that is number of years, that is 5. So right now the present value, if you have some idea of insurance, how to calculate the present value, so we have to give an input of future value, the rate, the annual interest rate, right? So I've given 0.37, that is 3.75%, and we have to give an input of any years that money will appreciate. So number of years I have given number 5. So the formula of to calculate present value is future value divided by the 1 plus rate, that is an annual interest rate, and a double exponent by years. So this is the raised to power by years, and display the amount needed to deposit, and we will see the present value. So we have obtained the present value of 2034 amount with a unit, and we have to, right now in present we have to do submit a 2034 amount to get the future value of 10,000 in next 5 years with an interest rate of 3.75%. So guys, this was the last topic of our topic 1, and I hope you will like this Python function and all the topics we have covered in this part 2 of input, process, and output, and hope you will like it. And can you do like and share my page? Thank you so much.